The 2013 Africa Cup of Nations was a tournament that brought back the faith and the love of the fans of Super Eagles in the Nigerian national team. I would say it was one tournament I will never forget because I just gained admission into school that time after staying at home for 3 years. So I just we were waiting to resume school. So it was just me and my family. I went back home. I just decided to have some time with the family, and it was so beautiful. I watched it with an uncle of mine, and from match one, I remember when we gave up that last-minute equalizer against Burkina Faso in the opening game, when we were 1-0 up by Akewuche's goal. So the second game against Zambia, where we struggled a lot and needed Vincent Eyama to rescue us. And then those two penalties against Ethiopia in the final match from Victor Moses. And everybody said we were going to lose to Cote d'Ivoire. They condemned the team.
The 2013 African Cup of Nations brought back nostalgic moments and memories of Nigeria's African Cup of Nations title success. I remember that very Sunday, the 10th of February 2013, Sunday embarrassed moment was all Nigeria needed that gave us the goal and the trophy. And the 2013 African Cup of Nations, for me, I remember plenty of moments Nigeria's run. Two players come to the mind readily. Emmanuel Emenike, the man who scored the match as a top scorer alongside Mubarak Makaso of Ghana, scored 4 goals in the tournament, as well as Sunday Mba, who scored the most important goals for Nigeria at the Cup of Nations.
My thoughts about the 2013 AFCON, I would say in one word, surprise, to be honest, because I felt I haven't missed out of the last edition with Zambia won in 2012, and heading into that particular one, I won't say I give Nigeria any chance. On the continent at that time, the Ivorians had the best team, the Drogbas, the Kolo Tourés, the Yaya Tourés, the Seydou Doumbiyas and all the other top names. Cheikh Tiote, Didier Yakunan, loads of other guys, Gervinho, and they had all these guys, and I sort of thought they were the best team in the competition. So yes, I would say surprise.
The win against Ivory Coast at the quarterfinal, many expected Nigeria to actually be eliminated by the Ivorians, especially after being knocked out before by the Drogba-led Cote d'Ivoire team in 2006. So that quarterfinal game was one many expected such to happen again. But then it took a boy who played then, of course, for the Rangers in Nigerian professional football to score what turned out to be the winning goal. Scored first, the Ivorians leveled, Sunday Mba scored, and we qualified. The game against Mali reminds me easily of the dazzling form of Victor Moses, Ahmed Musa. Nigeria won 4 goals to 1, and the final, Sunday Mba once again emerged as a hero. It was a tournament that actually showcased the finest home-based players in Nigeria, and they played a prominent role in Nigeria's success. I can't forget Ronnie complained here and there after that first game against Burkina Faso, complained after that second game against Ethiopia, 1 goal apiece as well, and the win against Zambia, second game, and the Ethiopia game was a 2-0 win, and everybody expected Nigeria to be using the plane at the quarterfinal, but then we just turned it around and went all the way.
I started believing after we knocked out the Ivory Coast, because of course there were rumors all over the place that these rumors were later proven to be true, that Nigeria, the Football Federation as at that time, had bought tickets for the players to return home. And there were also reports of a bit of bad blood because Keshi actually trusted the home lads to marshal things, and a lot of people were not impressed. A lot of the guys who came from Europe were the people who were not impressed, and but the lads he gave the chance went out there and did good. Godfrey Obwabona was playing for Sunshine Stars at that time when he went for the competition. Azubike Gwekwe was home-based, Sondomba was home-based, Gabriel Ruben was home-based. Who else was there? I think Solomon Kwambe. And these were the guys. But I think after we won the game against the Ivorians, I started believing. The group stage wasn't much of a challenge, but it was tight in the sense that we thought we had a chance against the people we were housed in the same group with, and they gave us a bit of a scare. And at the end of the day, we went to win the competition. But the moment we got past Ivory Coast, I started believing that we could go all the way.
And the game against Cote d'Ivoire was on a Sunday afternoon. I won't even forget that. It was the quarterfinals, and we went into that game, and there were not so much expectations. But then the legs of Emmanuel Emenike received fire, blasted that shot, and Boubacar Bari could not see the ball. A lot of people talk more about Sunday Mba in that game, but it was Emmanuel Emenike who I think had the better performance. He outplayed Tite Drogba, and our boys really got Drogba on lock, and we won by 2-1. And we had the semi-final against Mali, which was a walk in the park. Perhaps our easiest game in that tournament. We had no problems with it, and we had the final that was also played on a Sunday.
My favorite moment will be Sunday Mba's goal against the Ivory Coast. Yes, I so wanted them out of the way. It was on a Sunday, and I think we were in the office. I had wrapped up my shift, but we were covering the game. I was functioning as an analyst on the night, and it was in the evening, and that was my favorite moment. After that moment, I felt we could have it, and then we had Mali in front, and then we had Burkina Faso in the final. I wasn't really worried. I felt we could get past these ones, but the Ivorians were just a stumbling block, and that for me was my favorite moment. I know that to cap it all, Sunday Mba also scored the goal that decided the cup for Nigeria. That would be the climax, but my favorite moment of the competition was when he scored that goal against Ivory Coast, because it was for me the seal. He came off the bench, home-based, nobody knew him, and seized the moment, seized the opportunity. And for me, that was the highest point of that competition for me.
For the Burkinabes, Aristide Banse comes to the mind. Jonathan Petropa comes to the mind. That's the man that emerged as the best player of the tournament, and it brings memory. And I was fortunate to actually join the Eagles parade party, the open bus parade party in Lagos, to the governor's house in Ikeja. Met with Shola, Babatunde Raji Fashola then with the Eagles players. They went and had all sort of things, toured Lagos, and they terminated at the Testibale Stadium that Friday after they actually got back from South Africa, the FNB Stadium, at Lagos, the ball itself. Plenty of memories.
Going into that final, in church, very funny story, right? My mom might not even remember this. She was praying for the Super Eagles, and she said that she saw the Super Eagles lifting the trophy. You know, me, I never believed, because yeah, we were playing Burkina Faso, but Burkina played a beautiful tournament as well. They were unbeaten, and they should have beaten Ghana in 90 minutes, but controversial refereeing decisions. CAF was so desperate to have a Nigeria-Ghana final, but got past them, and Burkina Faso make the final, and Sunday Mba scored the best goal ever on the 10th of February 2013. I remember myself and everyone around me. The streets ran berserk. When I mean the streets, I mean the streets, not the literal streets. I mean, because I watched the game with streets, so it was really fun. I'm not sure that we would ever have a feeling like that again as fans of the Super Eagles, because nobody believed in them. But God,
and the last time we won it in 1994, I was young, and so seeing them lift the trophy was a special moment for me, because also each time I see that clip, the first thing that comes up in my head is Stephen Keshi. Yes, he's no longer here with us, but you know, he was one man who gave a lot and gave it all. That's why also you find people still mixing the narrative that home-based lads cannot be that bad. You can still mix them up with it, but we don't find the guys who are able to do that. And you will not blame these people, because of course result is all that matters. But 2013 African Cup of Nations, I look back at it with fond memories, and you know, I just wish I would relive that moment once again.
When are we going to win the next? We hope that it comes sometime soon. But then that was one memory that still remains fresh in my mind and the minds of millions of Nigerians, I know for sure.